This is Miss Stewart, and I'm going to do a book talk on Americanah by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And the reason why I wanted to include this book talk on this novel is that one of my students from last year encouraged me to read this novel, and so I did over the summer. And I'm including some pictures on my title slide because these are pictures of me actually traveling to relatively close to where the author was born. She was born in Nigeria, and in 1997 I actually did some travel in Niger and Benin, which is right next to Nigeria. So I wanted to give you some visuals of some of the things I saw in 1997. Americanah, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, was born in Enugu, Nigeria in 1977. And Americanah, I'm assuming, is partially based on her own childhood and experience. She was born in Nigeria and went to the University of Nigeria for 1 year, and she moved to the U.S. at the age of 19 to continue her education. And so for the author, she ended up going to Eastern Connecticut State University and has a master's in African history from Yale. She is a writer, a novelist, a poet, an essayist, a playwright, and a public speaker. I highly encourage you to watch two of her TED Talks. In 2009, she created The Danger of a Single Story. I know in ninth grade English, at least 2 years ago, we watched this in class and kind of analyzed some of what she was talking about. And in 2012, she did another TED Talk called We Should All Be Feminists. This novel, Americanah, was created in 2013 or published in 2013. And just to give you a visual of where we're talking about, this is in Africa. And you'll see here, this is Nigeria. Next to it is Benin. And I was up here in Niamey and kind of traveled all the way down to Cotonou, which is the border between Niger and Nigeria, very close to Lagos, which is one of the cities she talks about in the novel. You to read this novel if you have some time. It is not a quick read, in my opinion. However, I'm kind of committed to trying to read novels from a lot of different countries just to kind of expand my knowledge of the world, and I think that's really important for you as a student. With this novel, it's about a young Nigerian woman, probably loosely based on the author. Ifemelu is the name of the character in the novel. And it kind of discusses the character's experiences growing up in Nigeria, more as kind of a flashback, and also her experiences studying, working, and trying to live as an immigrant in the United States. There's a lot of themes to analyze in this novel, primarily authenticity and honesty with oneself, also identity, racism, the process of immigration, the challenges, falling in love, what is love, separation from love, separation from family, separation from country. And again, the novel tracks the story of Ifemelu throughout her journeys moving over to the United States, living in Nigeria, her dating life. She fell in love with several people in the United States, but also always had kind of her heart with her childhood love, Obenze, whom she encounters later. But again, there were flashbacks um, from her life in America to her life growing up in Nigeria, her family, how her father literally was fired for calling his boss mommy, and kind of it discusses the decline of her parents' fortune. It tracks her struggles getting set up in America. She ended up creating a blog, discussing a lot of different topics, from things, her thoughts about being in America, thinking of life back in Nigeria, even topics like hair. Um, and again, it kind of tracks a lot of her relationships, particularly with Obenze, her childhood love, also tracking his life as he moved over to London. So again, there's a lot to unpack in this novel. I highly recommend you take a look at it and again, continue exploring life in other countries around the world. Thanks a lot. This is Miss Stewart.